monster storm hits hard. Massive flooding, billions in damage. Floyd churns up the coast, but it could have been so much plus in-depth as cities struggle a worst-case scenario. A major hurricane hits the heart of a big city. Experts say this is a disaster waiting to happen. Shattered faith. What we now know about the gunman who opened fire on a church service filled with teenagers. And the gift. Bill Gates' stunning decision. $1 billion of his own money to give kids the chance of a lifetime.
From NBC News, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Reporting tonight from Washington.
Good evening from your nation's capital, one of the cities in the path of Floyd. It passed through here a short time ago, now a tropical storm, but still a menace. Floyd arrived in the Carolinas early this morning as a full-blown hurricane, and it's been disrupting lives and businesses ever since. High winds have been the order of the day from North Carolina to New England. There are at least 8 storm-related deaths reported so far. Some shoreline homes and businesses have been destroyed. There is extensive inland flooding. But all of this could have been so much worse. When Floyd made landfall this morning, it weakened quickly and then raced north without lingering. Joining me now with where this storm has been, where it's going at the moment, NBC's Robert Hager, who is in Richmond, Virginia tonight. Robert?
Tom, it came ashore at Cape Fear off the North Carolina coast, and by now it's all the way up off the New Jersey coast and aimed tonight toward Long Island and New England. Its winds now down to 65, still strong, but not as high as last night.
Ground zero as the wall of the big storm's eye grazes the North Carolina coast and then comes ashore. 110-mile-an-hour winds, up to 16 inches of rain. Instantly flooding streets, snapping power lines. Tens of thousands seeking refuge in shelters. And by day, the storm won't quit. Drenches Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and points north. A dramatic rescue in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. A dramatic rescue at sea. The Coast Guard saves a boater injured on a vessel. Other stories.
Yes, I hydroplaned twice last night, and it was then that I realized that I needed to just stay put for the night and wait things out.
Public schools close in Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New Jersey, and New York. Millions and millions of students. Amtrak cancels runs south of Washington. Airlines cancel 1,600 flights through today. Could cost the carriers $50 million in lost revenue. And the storm leaves its mark inland, too, felling trees and damaging vehicles here in Richmond, tearing the roof off a Hilton Hotel in Raleigh, and leaving high water everywhere.
This is shaping up to be possibly the worst flooding event that North Carolina has ever seen.
The water's completely over the bridge. I've never seen it this high before, ever.
Many of North Carolina's main highways blocked, including Interstate 95 and almost all key roads leading inland. Houses flooded in South Carolina as well.
Probably about 2 or 3 foot of water in there.
Sandbagging as the water rises. But elsewhere, signs Floyd wasn't as bad as expected. South Carolina's entire coast reopened to evacuees today, checked by police as they returned to homes and businesses.
I'm glad it went north of us. Could have been a lot worse for us.
But now a problem for millions more still in the path of this storm.
So far, most of the damage in this storm from the rain and flooding, not structural damage, but still significant. Tonight, the insurance industry estimates this storm will cost several hundreds of millions of dollars, which makes it by far this season's most expensive hurricane. Tom?
Thanks very much. NBC's Robert Hager tonight in Richmond, Virginia. And Floyd arrived in New York City today, the leading edge, and for a time it was an urban nightmare. Torrential rain, flooded streets, subways, millions of workers told to go home early to avoid the mother of all rush hour traffic jams. And joining me now from Manhattan and on how it's holding up, here's NBC's Pat Dawson. Pat, how are you holding up?
Not too badly, Tom. New York City prepared for Floyd. They just weren't ready for it to get here so soon. The storm arriving hours ahead of schedule. Officials here were scrambling to get millions of people out of harm's way. Floyd's advance guard arrives as torrents of rainfall, lashing Manhattan streets, an ominous sign of what's coming. Through morning rush hour, travelers make the best of an ugly commute.
Rather than try to get a cab and fight the crowds. I just put my shorts on, my T-shirt, and my sneakers, and had a nice walk down.
But the storm scenario has begun to change very quickly. In New York's Emergency Command Center, early warnings now conclusive. Floyd is picking up speed, bearing down on the nation's most populous metropolitan region.
Basically, right now, people are safe if they stay indoors.
The real threat here isn't dangerously high winds or surf, but paralysis. With 7 million residents and another 7 million daily commuters, chaos happens fast. 3 weeks ago, sudden downpours flooded subways and disabled commuter rail lines. Today, those same tracks were sandbagged. By noon, businesses closing, commuters trying to get out of town.
I heard that there were flood warnings everywhere, also in the subways as well as buses and everything, so I'm going home early.
I'm wet, I'm head to toe, just want to get home.
Still, no one in the city had a story as sad as Doris Cantor, evacuated from her home 100 miles east on Long Island, just days after leaving Florida to avoid Hurricane Floyd there.
I thought I'd be very safe here, and lo and behold, I woke up this morning and I had to evacuate.
Not everyone who wanted to get out of New York managed to, though. One very popular place in Manhattan tonight, hotels. We're told getting a room in many places is almost impossible. Tom?
Thanks very much, Pat. The past 48 hours have brought a great deal of drama to the entire East Coast, but nothing can compare with what happened off the coast of northern Florida yesterday. The aircraft carrier, the John F. Kennedy, in a dramatic rescue at sea at the height of Floyd's fury. NBC Jim Miklashevsky has more on that tonight.
At the height of Hurricane Floyd, the aircraft carrier John F. Kennedy cruising away from the storm, out of harm's way, when it gets the distress call. A commercial tugboat, the Gulf Majesty, caught near the eye of the storm, about 300 miles off the Florida coast. The tug sinking and its 8-man crew abandoning ship into the raging seas. The Kennedy turns around and heads back into the hurricane to rescue the crew. Waves crashing over its deck, 6 stories high.
Almost immediately upon turning, we had waves that came up and knocked some of our life rafts that we store alongside the ship at flight deck level into the sea.
In a satellite interview from the carrier today, Captain Mike Miller said no other rescue ship was even close.
It was up to us, or else those people were, quite likely going to perish.
With 100-mile-per-hour winds and giant seas, the crew members from the sinking tug fight for their lives.
Survival was on the mind. That's all I was thinking about.
3 crew members never make it into the life raft. Wearing life vests and clinging to a broomstick, they're pounded by the waves.
And you get air when you can. You got waves breaking over the top of you all the time and coming from different sides.
But the Kennedy and its helicopters are still 4 hours away. Once in the air, chopper pilot Joe D'Angelo still has doubts.
We thought there's no way we're going to find them out there, and it was just luck, thank God.
When the choppers spot the 3 in the water, rescue diver Shad Hernandez is lowered by cable into a 30-foot trough. This would be his first rescue.
It was just a look of amazement on their faces. They were like, thank you, it's good to see you. They were screaming, and I had so much adrenaline, I just yelled at one of them to come with me.
I ain't never wanted to see somebody so bad in my life.
The choppers return the 3 to the Kennedy, but then go back into the storm again to rescue 5 more in the life raft.
It was really a miracle that they even found us in that short span. It was definitely God sent.
God sent and mission accomplished.
All I know is I owe my life and that to these fellows and that over here on the JFK.
Jim Miklashevsky, NBC News, the Pentagon.
Coming up, the ultimate hurricane. NBC News in depth tonight, the worst-case scenario when a giant storm hits a major city.
We have done calculations about what past historical hurricanes might do were they to come ashore today, and it's truly frightening.
In depth, the truth about a truly monstrous hurricane, a disaster experts say just waiting to happen. And that deadly shooting rampage in a church in Texas. New information tonight about the shooter and the question, why did he do it?
"28 different children from 28 different families with 28 different futures. whose parents all share the need for help making informed decisions on what matters most: their health, their finances, their future. One name, Aetna, for what matters most.
If heaven were a beach, you'd have the bluest skies, the warmest waves, and Red Lobster's ultimate feast. Lobster tail, snow crab legs, shrimp scampi, and golden fried butterfly shrimp. Escape to Red Lobster.
Something amazing happened here in
Colorado,
Illinois,
Connecticut, and California.
I ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days. So did I. It helped lower my cholesterol 12 points.
22 points.
Oh, man! We ate ours with raisins.
applesauce.
Sauerkraut.
Really?
Really? 12 points. It's oatmeal across America.
Yee-haw!
Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Very simple. No stress.
We'll be happy to
They arranged to pick me up free, so I don't have to ask anyone for a ride. See? No stress. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
You have to wonder what business that leading specialty coffee chain is really in.
Oh, the large black. How's this?
But what if instead of all that other stuff, you want simply great tasting coffee? Try Millstone. We make coffee our only specialty. That's why we slow roast choice Arabica beans for a smooth taste that's not over roasted. It's preferred nearly 2 to 1.
These are very popular.
Millstone whole bean coffee. Available at your grocer.
Tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8. It's supposed to protect us against drunk drivers. But will a proposed DUI law target minority drivers unfairly? Tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
The other major story of this day, the investigation into last night's mass shooting at a Baptist church in Fort Worth, Texas. 8 people, including the gunman, are dead. We're learning much more tonight about the man who carried out yet another violent act with a handgun that has stunned the country. Here's NBC's Jim Cummins.
Police say 47-year-old Larry Gene Ashbrook came to the Wedgwood Baptist Church in Fort Worth with 2 handguns and 10 magazines of ammunition.
He was approached by a maintenance worker. That's probably the first victim that got shot right in the lobby as he walked in the front door.
From there, police say Ashbrook shot his second victim.
I saw a lady on the couch and she had a bullet in her head and she had blood everywhere. I don't know who it was or anything.
Authorities say the gunman then entered the church sanctuary, ranting anti-religious curses, and opened fire on a group of kids at a teenage prayer service, killing 5 more people, wounding 7 others, before throwing down a crude pipe bomb. 17-year-old Glenn Busey was sitting in the back pew.
He stands up, put the gun up to his head, and just shot himself in the head.
A total of 8 dead, 7 wounded, and dozens of children emotionally scarred by the shooting spree, including Jackie Steinmetz.
I had my fingers in my ears. I didn't want to hear it anymore, and I had my eyes closed and my head covered.
The police say they are almost certain that this was a random act, committed by a disturbed man, acting alone. Who was Larry Gene Ashbrook? He lived alone. His house was trashed. The FBI says it found pipes and gunpowder for making bombs, writings that seemed mentally disturbed, but no history of mental illness, and no evidence that he was planning to attack the Baptist church. He wasn't a member there and didn't know any of the victims.
What may have drove him over the edge is that approximately 2 months ago, we believe that his father died.
Where did he get the guns? Police say at a flea market and a gun store, both were bought legally. The pastor of the church says it's all part of a larger problem with society.
Maybe it's a sign of a culture that falls apart, that violence can happen where someone can come into a church and just start firing away.
Texas Governor George Bush was asked what he would say to 16-year-old football player Justin Laird, who was paralyzed by the gunfire.
It's hard to do anything but just say I love you.
Tonight, there will be a memorial service at another church. The pastor at Wedgwood Baptist says despite the shooting spree, he's determined to hold services as usual Sunday. Jim Cummins, NBC News, Fort Worth, Texas.
And from that terrible act of hate, now to a major act of generosity. The world's richest man, Bill Gates, his personal net worth, $90 billion, today announcing an extraordinarily large donation to help minority students pay for higher education. More on that now from NBC's Kelly O'Donnell.
The man with more money than anyone else on the planet, today giving away more than he ever has before. $1 billion over the next 20 years to send minority students, Asians, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, to college and graduate school.
Well, I'd love to see any of these scholars think about going to a college they couldn't afford.
Today's gift from Bill Gates and his wife, the largest single contribution ever to higher education, in the same stratosphere of giving with media mogul Ted Turner's $1 billion donation to the United Nations 2 years ago. The Gates Scholarship gives $50 million a year to 1,000 minority students studying math, science, and education.
It is also historic because of the potential for change that it will bring. When you look at the fact that last year only one African American got a PhD in physics.
Gates' wife Melinda, mother of their 2 small children, making an uncommon public appearance.
What we'd like to solve is to make sure that every 3rd grader, 4th grader, 5th grader today realizes that if they want to get a college education, we're there to help.
That help begins next year when the first of 20,000 minority students are named Gates Millennium Scholars. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Not a lot of action on Wall Street today as fear of Floyd sent a lot of the traders home early. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed down just under 64 points. NASDAQ lost 7.5 points today. Overseas, more deadly explosions in Russia today. A bomb ripped through an apartment building in southern Russia this time. At least 17 people were killed, more than 180 were injured. And late tonight in St. Petersburg, a suspicious explosion there as well, also at an apartment building. At least 2 people have been killed in that explosion. When we come back, NBC News in depth tonight. America's crowded coastlines, trying to evacuate all of those people living on the water or near it. Why it's only going to get worse.
Something's up with Mom. Yeah, now when she comes home, she has an activity planned. Soccer, baseball, badminton. She's a total spaz. Listen, we like playing just as much as the next kid, but doing it with Mom is going to take a little getting used to.
Exercise, eat right, and for nutritional support, take GNC's Women's Ultra Mega Multivitamins with more calcium and more B vitamins that are important to a woman's health. GNC. Live well.
Maybe she'll grow out of it.
Yeah, I've been having this problem with my girlfriend.
Diarrhea. Get it, and you want it gone.
Really good listener.
Imodium Advanced combines 2 medicines that relieve diarrhea plus cramps and bloating faster.
Was I right to invite my mom to my honeymoon?
Absolutely. Imodium Advanced.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Only the Alero has the active response system, with 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Frog, without the active response system. Alero, with the active response system. Alero, by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Today, while Amanda Scott was with her students, someone else was negotiating with lenders about her mortgage. At noon, she was keeping order on the playground instead of meeting with a home inspector. At 3, she met with Annie Chung's parents instead of reviewing closing costs with her attorney. And while Amanda was planning tomorrow's lesson, someone else was tying up loose ends at her new home. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're realtors. Real estate is our life.
If heaven were a beach, you'd have the bluest skies, the warmest waves, and Red Lobster's ultimate feast. Lobster tail, snow crab legs, shrimp scampi, and golden fried butterfly shrimp. Escape to Red Lobster.
Allergies knocking you flat? Try non-drowsy Allegra. Only Allegra has fexofenadine. For people 12 and over, ask your doctor or pharmacist for more information. Side effects are low and may include drowsiness, cold or flu, nausea, or menstrual pain. Allegra, so you can enjoy the world around you.
Monday on Today, Amy Fisher. The first television interview since her release from prison with Matt Lauer. Monday only on Today. It's like today, only later. Later today, weekdays on NBC.
NBC News in depth tonight, hurricanes of the future. It's a recipe for disaster. More than half of the U.S. population now living in coastal areas, more hurricanes taking direct aim. In depth tonight, we begin with NBC's Jim Avila, joining us now from Wilmington, North Carolina. Jim?
Tom, Hurricane Floyd packed its most powerful punch here along the border of North and South Carolina, and it did it in buckets, raining here more than 1.5 feet and making it nearly impossible for the record number of evacuees here to return home today, and reminding them just how dangerous it is to live along the coast and how vulnerable they are to bad weather. Highway 17, the main link between the North and South Carolina coasts, today cut in two by the floodwaters of Hurricane Floyd.
We have horses, and we've been gone since yesterday, and we're trying to get back into them.
Paul Hales stuck 1.5 miles from home and no way to get there without floating.
If I'd had any idea that the water was going to be this bad, I could have brought one of my boats with me.
Today, more and more Americans are in Paul's position, escaping harm but suffering. The reason? Early storm tracking means fewer deaths and injuries, but a coastal population explosion means more homes and valuables left in jeopardy. The population here jumped from 51 million people in 1970 to 61 million in 1997, a 21% increase. Many of them forced to abandon their homes this week in America's largest peacetime evacuation. Sherman Evans' family was trapped in traffic for hours fleeing Wilmington.
They were stuck. They couldn't get off.
And some experts believe even more hurricanes are in store for this crowded corridor. Dr. Roger Pielke says the building boom has made beach property more at risk.
They built many of these homes, expensive homes on barrier islands, and those homes are particularly vulnerable then to storm surge.
And that's why in the modern era, hurricanes actually kill fewer people, but do a lot more damage to property. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC Jim Avila. This sounds like a recipe for disaster. An enormous hurricane hitting America's biggest cities, huge waves overwhelming famous landmarks, monster winds rocking steel bridges. But experts say it is not a fantasy. Continuing in depth, NBC's Robert Bazell.
New York City, highways flooded and closed, traffic snarled tonight by the weakening remnants of Hurricane Floyd. But what if a maximum force hurricane were to strike New York or some other large city directly?
It's something everyone's worried about. We have done calculations about what past historical hurricanes might do were they to come ashore today, and it's truly frightening.
Especially frightening in New York because of the vulnerability to both wind and flooding. New York Harbor forms a trap that would intensify the tidal surge from a big hurricane, pouring water into many areas, including the southern tip of Manhattan.
We could have certainly 6 feet of flooding over lower Manhattan itself.
Subways would stop and traffic tunnels would close. On August 26th, just 3 inches of rain that fell in a brief period closed the city's subways and commuter railways. Hurricane winds could be an even bigger danger. High winds could shut the many suspension bridges around New York, leaving Manhattan and other areas cut off and threatening tall buildings.
We're finding, especially now, that high-rise buildings are in a lot of danger.
When Hurricane Andrew struck south of Miami in 1992, it tore up the few high-rise buildings in its path. A city of skyscrapers could create wind tunnels that would amplify the damage even more. A big problem with forecasting the damage from big hurricanes here in New York City is that the last one struck more than 150 years ago. Still, forecasters say there is a 1 in 500 chance that a major hurricane could strike New York in any given year.
We really have no experience with New York City, and that's why, even though it's a very low probability event, we have to beware of tremendous damage that could occur in that region.
For New York and many coastal cities, Hurricane Floyd has been like an alarm, warning of potential dangers ahead. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
I'll be right back.
Welcome to My Mailboxes, etc. You know, this may look like a regular mailbox, but let me tell you the secret. You get a street address, not just a P.O. box number. That means we can sign for your FedEx shipments and other packages. You get an entire support staff. Where else are you going to be able to call and check your mail? I mean, come on, who's going to do that for you? We'll also forward that mail anywhere in the world. Mailboxes, etc. We're making business easier. We're making life easier.
Can your mailbox do that?
I need strong arthritis relief. I want soft skin.
Now I get both.
Introducing new Arthricare Hand and Body Lotion. Fast relief of minor arthritis pain plus special skin softeners. Arthricare Lotion. Pain relief plus moisturizers.
All in one.
You've dreamed of opening your own place. Now stay healthy and energetic and enjoy it. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver. Its age-essential nutrients may help maintain your immunity and help keep your heart healthy. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver.
No, this isn't a jeans commercial. It's about constipation. You're bloated, not yourself. Your size 10s feel like 2s.
FiberCon has natural fiber action to relieve bloating constipation.
I'm myself again.
FiberCon. Be regular. Be yourself.
This spray can make more of a difference than you ever imagined.
Mom, we don't have to pick on Matt and Jennifer. They're still sick.
It can help make a difference in how many school days your kids miss this cold season. Just do what pediatricians do in their own homes. Zap those hot spots and kill the cold bug with Lysol disinfectant spray. It kills 99.9% of germs in seconds. Night and day, Lysol spray helps protect. You have our word on it.
Great meal. Uh-oh, gas pressure. What now? What else? Gas X, with the most powerful medicine for fast relief. Nothing works faster. Hey, want to go for ice cream? Gas X, the power to fight gas fast.
Steering so precise. We're still trying to find a word. More precise than precise. Intrigue. With state-of-the-art steering and suspension systems. Intrigue by Oldsmobile. Start to command performance. Start something.
They're always in the headlines, and now there's a show that's as bold as they are.
Headliners and Legends with Matt Lauer premieres September 27th on MSNBC.
CNBC's Maria Bartiromo brings what she heard on the floor to Street Signs. Then Ron and Sana takes you to the closing bell. Street Signs, weekdays at CNBC.
The past 3 days have been all hurricane all the time for the people of the eastern seaboard from Florida north. Tonight, there is relief. The massive storm didn't do more damage or cost more lives. As I watched it arrive in Wilmington, North Carolina early this morning, it was a primal power, and then it was gone. Left behind, after the worst of nature, the best of humankind. For 7 hours today, I chased the hurricane up the coast of North Carolina and had a full measure of southern hospitality, beginning in Wilmington, with local authorities who gave me a tour of the damages, but also a pitch on the qualities of their city, which has suffered through 5 hurricanes in 3 years. Leaving Wilmington, chasing the storm, we almost instantly ran into flooding on Interstate 40 and had to make a detour, led by a friendly family in a pickup truck taking us through the back roads. Onto Interstate 95, heading north, and more flooding. All along the way, we saw neighbors helping neighbors, pushing cars, clearing trees. At one point, we were almost out of gas, and with the power out, all the service stations were closed. For all of the inconveniences, the traffic jams, the flooding, the lost businesses, the dangerous time, I didn't hear one horn honked in anger.
We can probably get out of that blockade and maybe even talk to those guys.
And when I tried to pay a retired farmer $10 for his precious spare 2 gallons of gasoline that he offered us and bailed us out, he said, no, that's too much. Just give me 3 of those singles. It was a bargain. I'm Tom Brokaw.
From KGW, where the news comes first, this is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
Hurricane Floyd roars ashore in North Carolina. Winds of more than 100 miles an hour slam the coast. But the big story tonight is flooding. In some places, Floyd dumps up to 2 feet of water. Hello, everybody. I'm Tracy Berry.
And I'm Joe Domlin. Carol Jensen is off tonight. Hurricane Floyd is now a tropical storm, but the threat of danger is far from over. The storm is moving up through New England. The governors of New York and New Jersey have declared a state of emergency, and residents are preparing for the worst. Now, this is what Floyd has left in its path. Flooding, and lots of it. In North Carolina, roads look like rivers. People are using boats to evacuate in some areas. Floyd dumped more